Hey everybody, how are you all doing? Over on YouTube, over in the Academy Facebook group, and also in the 7 Levels of Awareness Masterclass. I hope you're all doing so well. A week from today, we will be on day 2 of our masterclass, which is going to come around pretty fast. I hope you're excited. We all are. We're talking about it all morning in various different groups and everything. So we're excited to welcome you all to our Academy next week and have a look at what we do with wonderful people all over this beautiful country of ours. So I'm just going to unmute myself here as well. Yes, I see where I am now. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, everybody. So I hope you're doing very, very well. I'm going to pop myself into this Facebook group or over here as well. Now we're good to go. So let me know who's with me today. Who are you? Where are you joining in from? Just comment away in the chat section so that I can see, or in the comment section so I can see who's joining me and where you're tuning in from as well. Okay, so yes, I can see we're live, and off we go from there. Okay, so thank you very, very much to the guys who have been covering for me since I've been away, Yelena, Dusan, and Megan and Ernestine as well. I am excited to get back into day 22. And when I look at these numbers, I'm thinking, hang on a minute, this is a 28-day masterclass, and we're talking about days number 22 now. So Megan covered with you the last day, 19, 20, and 21. So everybody could just take the weekend off and enjoy themselves. So you talked about heart magic, you talked about magnificent outcomes. And this is really, I think the magnificent outcomes lesson is really one of the lessons that, you know, my mentor Bob Proctor and other people like that will talk about it. I've been very, very lucky to be on conversations recently with people like Les Brown and Price Pritchard, and there's a common denominator with them is that you'll sometimes be so focused on your goal for a long time and hoping and wondering and wishing and praying and willing and all that stuff, and then eventually you find you've absolutely blasted right past, like just totally blasted past your goal, and then you look back and kind of go, oh yeah, I did that. We saw a wonderful post today in the Vibrational Attraction Masterclass from a lady in Dublin called Avril Smith. And Avril just said that. She said, I look back, she's done this book 3 times in the last couple of years. And when she looked back over today's lesson, she realized, 3 key occurrences that happened out of the list of 10. So today in the homework, you're going to be making a list of 10 outcomes you really want to see appear before your very eyes. It's now, well, it's the same time here. I'm actually tuning in from Lanzarote today. I'm on our first holiday in almost 4 years, myself and June and the kids. And Laura's here with us as well. And we, it's quite sunny and it's nice. And I was just, running over and back to make sure, basically I had to come back, get my laptop all set, make sure it was a very strong stream so that you can hear me and see me clearly and we can get our work done. And I was just popping over and back, and it's so funny how you can slip away from gratitude easily enough. I remember thinking, oh, what a hassle it is now, and my key card didn't work and I had to go back and get it worked. And and you can easily slip into, especially when I was under time pressure, trying to make sure everything was going smoothly. I was on a 45-minute hold call today for work, and things like that go against you. 45 minutes is a long time. And I was held up for a while, and you can so easily slip into the opposite of gratitude, frustration or impatience or something like that. Now, I would say they were still probably 10, 15 miles away from me, but I was aware of the kind of side effects that they bring, maybe a little bit of a closing in of the eyebrows, turning into a bit of a frown, maybe a bit of a rushed sigh as I scuttle along in my flip flops, and I stopped for a minute, and all I could hear was splashing and children laughing, and I see my son making loads of friends with boys and girls and their dads inside in this 5-a-side soccer field, and I was just like, all right, get into the gratitude now, buddy. Come on, pretty quickly. And I'm sure a lot of you are like that now as well. I'm sure you're very, very quick to catch yourself, going away into a little bit of negativity. I think it's probably still something that you'll keep to yourself, because other people are not on this journey with you. And when they start having their cranky pants on, you can't just arrive in and go, now listen, you need to be more grateful. Tomorrow morning, instead of the situation, make a list of 10 things and count your blessings. You get a probably from the vast majority of people. So it's nice to see. I'm not going to tell you a lot this week about my experience last week. I went to the Wim Hof retreat in the Cliffs of Moher. It's a yoga center. It's a wonderful retreat center in County Clare. And the few days that I was there was all about the Wim Hof method, which is ice. As my book is there somewhere. It's about mindset, ice, cold water, ice water immersion, immersing yourself in the water and overcoming the the stabs and the pains and the feeling like you need to panic in there. Beautiful therapy. It's what it is. It's a therapy. And then there's the mindset. Oh, the breathing, of course. Oh my God, how could I forget the breathing and what it's doing to you? But so I'm going to be mentioning and probably getting into that a lot more in next week's masterclass. They kind of go hand in hand, the 7 levels of awareness, and my experience with going against something that we are all a bit afraid of. I mean, nobody likes to get dunked with a bucket of ice. You know, nobody likes to have to do the whole cryogenic therapy on an injury like athletes. Nobody really wants to go into the cold, and doing that every day was amazing. So I will blend that more with the masterclass next week. But the part I want to mention today for this gratitude is when you do that breathing exercise, you're breathing in oxygen, breathing out carbon dioxide, breathing in oxygen, but you're breathing in more oxygen than you normally do. And you're consciously aware that when you're finished all of your breaths, you know, you've been flooding yourself like with oxygen, putting it in a bank almost. So, and compounding that and spreading it. So you're like, right. So all that oxygen is going in and around your body. It's going everywhere. And then after about 30 breaths, you breathe out. And you stop. And you stop for ages. So June was actually the bed is behind us here. So I just said to her yesterday morning, I'm doing my breathing now. And look, I thought that was part of it. You know, you had to count and find out how long you can keep your breath for. I really thought that was part of it till I did the experience and the retreat. But I still like to do it. You know, I still think it's a pretty cool feat of my human body and my mindset and stuff I haven't really done before. So yesterday, I was going for 2 minutes and it was 1 minute 47 seconds, I think, before I went again. So you breathe out, stop, and you just hold your breath. Now, what I was thinking about is after I hold my breath for a while, right? So I breathe out, stop. After a while, I feel almost like, you know, when you're camping and your air mattress is full and you squash everything out and you push it out the last bit and you think it's done. And then maybe somebody heavier than you or a couple of people will go, hang on a second, and you'll push it again. Next thing, there's another bit and then another bit. So I think, I don't know if this is scientifically correct or not. I think what happens is you exhale all of the carbon dioxide. You think you've exhaled, but your body then starts to bring more to the surface. Like, no, there's more. No, there's a bit more. I find that about 10 seconds in, there's another little bubble of air wants to come out. And after another 10 or 15 seconds, there's another little air. So after about 30 seconds, I've done 2 more exhales after I've done the full breathe out and stop. So that got me thinking, and blending that a little bit and mixing it with the gratitude today. It got me thinking about how when you're grateful and you're grateful and you're grateful, you can be grateful some more. There's always room for more things to be grateful for. I mean, you know, we're in a resort where tonight now we're going to go for a bit of a change, but every meal isn't this one large eating emporium, I suppose. And you could eat in different countries. Like there's all different sorts of food. Like there was kebabs last night in one place, and then there's your traditional roast for the UK and Irish people there in the middle, and then there's loads of Spanish food, and there's bits of curries. Like there's a really huge buffet hall, I suppose. So we're going to go for a bit of a change tonight to a different place. But I mean, just on that alone, just the gratitude, you know, I went over, there's a certain amount of beverages that you get from having one of these all-inclusive passes. But if you want to upgrade and spoil yourself a little bit, then it's extra. So I went back this morning just to pay a bill. We thought they automatically charge it, and they just notified us, oh, you left the bill. So I went over to pay it, and I knocked on the door of the restaurant. So it's open from morning till afternoon. Then they close it to replenish it and use different cutlery, different napkins, and all that for the afternoon. And I did a lot of years working in hotels and restaurants and bars and things, and I know what it takes to run an operation like this. Actually, I tell a lie. I would have a guess, because I've never worked in somewhere that would accommodate as many people. It's some operation. But in the moment that I was paying for this, immediately handing over this card, there it is, there's the actual receipt, there's the card, handing it over, being extremely grateful that I have the ability to do this. When I think of probably billions of people that don't have a card that has money in it, that you can do that and pay for wine that was grown on a vine in the grapes, and it was crushed and squashed and stored and became this thing that was traveled here to Lanzarote so I could grab it and open it and pour it and consume it with my family. The gratitude is everywhere. Like as I said about those extra few breaths of carbon dioxide that's in the body, you think you've gone enough with gratitude, you can go more. I mentioned about 45 minutes on hold this morning. It was literally just trying to get bank statements for my credit card, and I could be cranky and frustrated that it took so long. But I'm grateful for the company for reducing their staff numbers so that they can be compliant with the COVID restrictions, or they're taking care of their staff. I could be grateful that, I'm sitting on a lounger with AirPods in, which are, a fancy kind of earphone thingy. Just the gratitude is everywhere. Grateful for this girl called Anya who was trying her best for me, but bureaucracy is like, I'd love to, but I can't. I can see him in front of me, but I just can't download it and email it to you. I said, well, I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for the effort that you get. So that maybe a few years ago, that 45-minute call would have been such an inconvenience, and I was just grateful. So let me know in the chat yourself about how much you're seeing when you've gone as far as you think you can go with gratitude. There's more. It's like 33% extra free as in a shopping promotion. So let's have a little look here at, and I just want to see who's joining me in the academy over on Zoom. At the moment, it's Juliet. Hello, Juliet. I hope you're well. I'll be talking to all you guys after we close out this call. I'll stay on and go into Zoom there. Okay, so people are saying hello, Lanzarote. Facebook user, that's Claire, I think. Hello from Killarney. Hope you and the family are having a super time. Yes, we are. Katrina, lovely to see you. Yeah, it's going great now. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, I hope everybody's having a super Monday, regardless of where you are. We tuned into our wonderful Ernestine this morning while Laura was having a chat with her at breakfast, and I popped in for a look, and I said, what are you doing wearing that big coat, that big furry thing? So there will be no gloating from my end. That was the beginning and the end of it. But it feels nice to feel the hot sun on the skin. It's good. I look forward to doing this annually. It's been a long. We did a holiday a few years ago, and then we moved into our new house, and we kind of thought that was enough for that year. And then after about 9 months after we moved in, the old lockdown thing happened. So that's it. That nearly adds up to 3 and 4 years. It's funny how it all adds up. We went to see friends of ours there, and Leila said to me, I haven't seen my friend in 2 years. He goes, no, you have, yeah. Yeah, you're right. 2 years gone by fast. It was November 2 years ago that June said, no, don't be mocking me now, don't be laughing. And I was like, what? And she pulls these face masks out of the wardrobe. She goes, I bought these online because apparently there's this virus going on in China. I was worried about that. For God's sake, June, you always see people from that part of the world walking around Heathrow and O'Hare in Chicago and Los Angeles, and they always wear masks. Don't worry about it. She goes like, no, this is different. I was like, nah. And here we are. Look, everywhere I go now, it's like you have to have one of them around. So that's a new paradigm at the moment. Anyway, let's hope it's temporary. 2 years is temporary in the life of this world. Thousands and thousands and millions of years old. 2 years is not a long time. We'll be back. So day 22, before your very eyes. This world, after all, our science and sciences, I still have a miracle, a wonderful, indestructible, magical, and more whatsoever will. Think of it. Thomas Carlyle, writer and historian. That's the quote at the beginning. So this world, he says, after all our science and sciences, is still a miracle. Wonderful, inscrutable, magical, and more to whatsoever will. Think of it. 7 years ago, when I first discovered the secret and the magical power of gratitude, I made a list of all my desires. This is Rhonda Byrne. So I have lists of my desires, and they're on the wall of my office at home. And from time to time, I'll have a little look. If I'm feeling a little unmotivated or whatever, I'll have a little look, and I'll think, what am I doing to make those things happen? And then I just start thinking about to-dos, knowing and doing gaps, and then I get after them. Bob has a little short saying, and it's pray and move your feet. It means think about it, dream about it, yeah, but come on, get going. Get out and do a bit. Get a bit of action going here, buddy. So I look at the list of my desires. But anyway, Rhonda Byrne says, hang on, we'll have a little drinky. It's Sprite, don't worry. I wouldn't have an alcoholic beverage on the job. I made a list of all my desires. It was a long list. And at that time, there seemed to be no possible way that my desires could come true. Nevertheless, I took my top 10 desires and I carried them with me on a piece of paper every day. Whenever I had an opportunity, I would take out my list, read through it, giving as much gratitude for every single desire that I could, as though I had already received it. With my number one desire the desire I wanted more than anything else. I kept it constantly in my mind, and I would say the magic words, thank you, for multiple times a day and feel as if it had come true. One by one, every desire on my list magically appeared before my eyes. As I received my desires, I would cross them off my list. And when I had new desires, I would add them to my list. So let's pause there for actually read one more bit and then I'll pause. One of my desires from my original long list was to travel to Bora Bora near Tahiti. After spending a beautiful week at the exact place in Bora Bora I had listed, another beautiful thing happened. I was flying to the mainland of Tahiti on my way home when the airplane stopped en route to pick up passengers. The flight had been empty, but then it filled to the brim with native Tahitians. And suddenly, laughter, smiling faces, and a happiness was palpable all around me. As I enjoyed a short flight with these beautiful people, it became crystal clear to me the reason that they were so happy. They were grateful. They were grateful to be alive. They were grateful to be on an airplane. They were grateful to be with one another. They were grateful for where they were going. They were grateful for everything. I could have stayed on that plane and traveled around the world with them. It felt so good to be with them. And then it struck me that I just received my final desire. Bora Bora was the last desire on my original long list, and the reason that I was on that plane was before my very eyes, and that is gratitude. So that's why, she was manifesting that list for a long time, and then probably had switched off from looking at it every day. And you will go past your goal sometimes, and you will experience that. Like we sat down for breakfast this morning. We got a lovely card from our friends Kevin and Liz and Coraline, and they're very, very thoughtful with cards and dates and gifts. They always get their birthdays on time, and they're just a lovely, lovely, lovely family. But they've opened a beautiful store in Topsham in Devon in England, and they sent us this like, after you shave you put on moisturizer, but this is like a face oil. So Kevin gets all of his raw materials, and he bought this huge big device. It looks like something you'd see in a science lab, and he takes big huge boxes full of fresh lavender from France to get the lavender oil. Really does. That's why the soaps are so good and good for you. But we got this oil this morning, and I don't know if it's on their goal, but it's along the lines of people are enjoying our products all over the world. Well, certainly they're being enjoyed in Croatia. I know they're being enjoyed right across the UK, right across Ireland, the soaps and the skincare products. But I thought that was a lovely thing. It's like, Kevin and I soldiered together in hotels and bars and restaurants well, he didn't do the bars and restaurants with me. We worked in hotels together in Hayfield Manor, and he worked in oh gosh, Castlemartyr, and then we other amazing restaurants and chalets and all that, and all those bulbs of garlic he chopped, and all those onions he sliced and diced, and all the fish that he deboned and everything, and all the thousands of times that he joked about me being a glorified plate carrier, and it's great to be here. I am with my family sitting over in Lanzarote, and I'm opening products from him and his beautiful wife's store, an idea that was born in their mind and is now a reality, and they're shipping these things around the world. And of course, we had our wonderful Maria with such an amazing win. I've said it in a written post, but I want to say it now face to face to all of you. I am double happy for Maria, not just because of the 100+ sales she got in a day, or I think it was a day, but what that lovely gift has given to the subconscious mind. Like, you see your glass here. Let's say that's your subconscious mind. It's almost like the proof has been poured in now, and it's undeniable. It's undeniable. When she tries to say, I'm so happy and grateful for this big win, and her old paradigm tries to go, but you're only Maria. You can't do that. Then she has the proof now. She just goes, no, I can. I promise you, I was on the plane. We'd 4-hour flight from Dublin, and I wrote down, I could get it for you, what do I want, on the top of the page. And I started thinking, because it's coming into December now soon, and December is really about 5 weeks. I really start planning out what I truly want. And I was at a shuffleboard, where you get these little round things and you slide them. So there was a group of dads. I was laughing. It's so funny. If there is anything that these big boys call dads, like, we're literally just big boys, right? A chap came along with a piece of timber and all these little round wooden discs, and you just slide them up into these little slots, So it was like a really watered down version of bowling. They could only fit exactly like a millimeter each way. It was like miniature golf, but with shuffleboard, you're sliding it. And within no time at all these competitive dads were standing around, like, holding their drinks and have their sunglasses on and standing there like going, I have 5 lives. No, yeah, you're 3 lives. I have 5. You've 7. All right, you're 7 lives, right? And it was like June looked over at me, and I was like, boys and ties, you know. But during that moment, I was reflecting on a conversation I had with a gentleman. So he's there's one lady in the academy. There's one lady in the 7 levels of awareness masterclass, and she said, "I cannot wait to hear what happens in September 2025." I nearly told this guy. Now he's such a stranger; he's never going to know me. He doesn't know me. He might follow me on Instagram or something. I don't know. But I got chatting, and we were chatting about what that is going to be. But I was just about to blurt it out. I was going to say, "Here, listen, I'm going to let you in on a secret. I want you to remember my name because on the 25th of September, 2025." And I said no. I was very close. Laura's the only person that knows it at the moment, and it really gave me shivers up my back, because if I was so nonchalantly ready to say that this is a fact, it's like what I said about our dear Maria. I've come so far that such a goal that makes me even feel like actually physically getting sick sometimes when I think about it. It's so way above me. Who am I to do that? You know? But then I walk backwards 5 years to when I first like nervously invested debt, really invested credit card money and invested a bit of a loan to finally have a coach and a mentor and the Thinking into Results program. When I look at those 5 years, I'm still at a place now. It's like, oh, I'm almost nauseous. It's such a big goal. Who am I to do this? How am I going to do it? But I was on the Sun Lounger then, and I actually took a screenshot and I sent it to Laura a minute ago, because it's a person who's 11 years ahead of me in their journey on the same industry put a post out today, and I'm thinking about the thousands of lives that they've benefited. I'm thinking about, it's actually nothing. I'm not saying it's nothing to do with coaching and consulting, because there will be a large part of that, but it's almost like a different industry completely. My heart is on, benefiting thousands and thousands of people directly and indirectly. It's not sales or anything. It's just running an organization like in a certain way that becomes like super big. So I got the idea from Steve Jobs. Apple was not about electronics. It was about helping to connect people around the world, So anyway, point I'm trying to say is her Bora Bora experience is after the fact you get the realization. So if you're at this phase of like you're pining for your goal and you're hoping and winning it, you've got to surrender a little bit more. That's something I really learned from the ice. When I wasn't surrendering to it, I was freezing. When I surrendered, my hands got warm instantly. When I let go, everything worked. I could have stayed there all day. Everybody said the same thing. When we're resisting, or it's like our ego is trying to, I know what's best for my body. I will defeat you, cold. And it's like, no, you surrender to it. You're like, well, cold is cold. It's not good or bad. And then all of a sudden you feel warm and comfortable in the ice. So it's amazing. But Rhonda Byrne was like, oh, that's my 10th one. And for me to stand next to that man yesterday and go, oh, I was just there. Like I was going to go, by the way, but that felt amazing. 5 years ago, I would have fainted. Now I'm still nervous, but I'm flipping doing it, and that's it. And that is a different man, and the different man literally was written into existence through a lesson we do call the self-image, where you write out who you want to be, how you want to be that person. And there's times I can very easily look at evidence and criticize myself for not being everything that I said I would be when I first started writing that out. But I just pray and move my feet. I go, okay, I haven't done that yet. Let's go. Let's move on. All right. So hopefully that has helped in some way to help you to relax into your goal a little bit more, to relax into the magic book, and don't have a kind of an impatience in your heart when you want these things that you're magically writing about. Just let me give you one bit of hope. I think that will really help everyone. There is no way, like it has come to you into your mind. Just like I was on this bed yesterday, and I started thinking about my wants, and I was in a real kind of a deep meditation, and I could feel that little bit of guilt. Like, is it wrong to want for this? Who am I? How can God even hear me? There's 7 billion of us. Like, how can He even? Like I still get little ideas like that. You have to quieten your mind, and you have to understand that you're being given health, healing, happiness, clothing. You're watching this on the internet. You're connected to the internet. You're really taken care of all the time. Stop limiting how amazingly successful, the universe, God, whatever you refer to as the creator of this whole extravaganza called life, don't believe for a millisecond that it's limited, that it's distracted and it's busy with somebody else. It's no busier with wars in other parts of the world, or famine or drought, or people praying to get a gold medal in the Olympics. Everybody is getting taken care of. So don't limit how much don't limit your surrendering. You can let go. You can stop trying to control it. You can let go and enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. You can enjoy the journey more just by maybe doing more gratitude, making more lists, going out and trying to make other people feel very, very well in their day. Okay, so let's continue on with the chapter. Rhonda Byrne said, I've shared a story as an inspiration for you because no matter how big your desires seem to be, you can receive them through gratitude. Even more than that, gratitude will bring a joy and a happiness for life that you've never felt before. And that's truly priceless. I remember I remember talking to people at that retreat. And of course, at retreats, everybody makes big, wild, like, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to, only brush my teeth with celery and drink only cucumber juice for the rest of my life, and I'm going to stand in my head for an hour a day. People make a lot of big, elaborate ideas when they've done something new. I will do this every day. You'll see. But it wasn't that kind of a retreat, because it wasn't about that. It was. I remember at one point saying to somebody, I think I probably would have died like in ignorance. If I had died before I'd done the Wim Hof method in a retreat scenario like that, and intentionally been trained into it, I would have died. If I died like before I got to do that, I would have been ignorant to the incredible feelings that one has from going through that experience. That's how good it was. If that's not a good indictment of it, I don't know what is. Niall Muraku is his name, Niall Murphy, and Neil Muraku, and Breathe with Niall is his tagline if you want to find him. But to go up against it was incredible. Now the reason I'm saying that is I don't have regrets, too many regrets. There's things I wish I could go back and change. I can't. But if I had my time back again, maybe about 10 years, if I could go back to when I was 30, I'm 41 now, I would have made gratitude a bigger part of my life from 30 to 35. I can't have regrets because the rough edges brought me to places. The junction and taking the wrong road, it brought me to places. The things I wished I didn't react to, it brought me to places. It brought me to therapists, to healers, to conversations, to tears, to success sometimes, because some people would not have gone down the difficult roads that I went down to create a successful life in a short time, to turn a very difficult financial situation around. I have no way of knowing that some of the difficult decisions I made and some of the difficult roads I went down, I have no way of knowing that a nicer, easier, smoother road would have got me the same results. So I can't have regrets. But if I could go back, I would make gratitude. You get these really good questions on podcasts. And if somebody asked me a question, what would you do anything different? I'd say, yeah, I would make gratitude a bigger presence in my life earlier on, way further back to 30, probably back to maybe even further if I could. So Rhonda Byrne says it here. And I don't actually think it's for the desires. She says, I've shared the story as an inspiration because no matter how big your desires seem to be, you can receive them through gratitude. I don't even think it's necessarily the desires. It's just for the feeling it gives to you. I mean, the blissful connection to the universe that it gives to you that's why I would like to go back and do it more. I think I probably would have been, I'm a pretty nice fella to be around. I think I'm very easygoing, and as much as I'm charismatic and kind of extroverted, I can blend into the furniture there, and you wouldn't even know I'm around a lot of the time. I get very quiet and go into my thinking mind. But I think, yeah, there was probably times I was like, it was intense, because I had to get there. I have to push. I have to get that result. I have to build that house, So I think I could have done all of it in a much more calmer, a nicer way on my body, on my mind, on my frown lines, with gratitude. So that's what I want to say. Rhonda Byrne makes a very good point there. So when she made her list of 10 things, and I want you to read the rest of that chapter by yourselves, when she reads those 10 things, when she looks at her desires, it's because of a list, and you're going to make them today. So the magic practice number 22, let's look into it. It's called Before Your Very Eyes. Count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write out why you are grateful. Reread these. And at the end of every blessing, say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And feel so grateful for the blessing as much as you can. At the start of the day, take your top 10 desire list that you have created. Read through every sentence on the desire list. And for 1 minute, imagine or visualize that you have received your desire and feel as much gratitude as you can. Now, where is my phone? I think it's just over there. So I won't show you physically, but you can hold on your phone. If you've got an iPhone, you can go, hey Siri, set my countdown timer for 1 minute. And she'll say, the timer is not running. That's gas. Thank you, Siri. That's so funny. And it never picks up on it normally. So the timer is not running, okay? Or else it's now running. I don't know. So that countdown timer is a minute. That's going to be good. If you can hold your attention for a minute, well done. For example, I'm so happy and grateful now that I've taken my parents first class to Sydney, Australia to see my sister and my nephew and spend time with them. I would close my eyes and I would visualize pulling the blankets up over mom and dad as they are fully laid out. They went once before and they said never again because they were sitting upright for 30 something hours of flying time, I think it was, and stopovers and all that. They're much older than they were then when they went. But fair play to them, they did the whole thing. They walked the Harbour Bridge. They saw Uluru. They saw Alice Springs. They flew across the country in a small plane. Like they did more than a lot of their neighbours and friends do. I'm very proud of them. But I'd love for them to go again, but they won't. So I can help them to go again if I take them all first class. That is a goal of mine. I close my eyes. I visualize it. Seeing their faces when they just walk in and they expect to turn right, and I go, and then they're like, "Are you Jimmy and Kathleen? Oh no, you're coming into the VIP. Come along." Like I'd be, as they say in England, I'd be made up. And then just to see my mum's face as there, she's like, "Real cutlery." My mom loves her food. She'd be like, "Oh my God, look at all the things they bring us." And then, as you know, me and dad would probably split the champagne that they give between us because mom doesn't drink alcohol at all. So we'd have a little bit. And, I'd be just watching their amazement at the whole thing. So you can see, even as I'm saying it, my face is probably smiling really from the inside out. I just think back to that, like the 5 of us in the back of a Toyota Carina heading off on our holidays with no seatbelts and flying around the place and pulling over, and there was steam coming out. The car broke down, steam coming out and getting it fixed, and to see where we were in the 80s and where they would be heading off first class in a beautiful plane like Qatar Airways or Emirates or some of these. It'd be lovely. And that's mine. That doesn't have to be yours. It's mine. It's just what I want. What do you want? Your wants may not be about you at all. It may be that you get to, like last night now we watched Joni, she's our 6-year-old, and there was an ABBA tribute band on stage. They were amazing. They even did that brand new song, and she's lost. When Joni is lost in the music, once it comes on, she's like this. She's just staring at the stage, taking it all in. And when you want to say something, she kind of snapped out of it. She puts on Adele, her new song, and sings it like brilliantly. But she's shy about public performance, the previous night there was karaoke and she went up and sang Taylor Swift with Layla. We all sang, actually. Myself and Laura did 500 Miles, the Proclaimers, for the old Scottish connection. It was really funny. But I think of you who's watching this, maybe someone like Claudia or Emer or people like that. I see your pictures with your children, Aggie and Yelena with Maria. And maybe your top 10 is to see these beautiful little people just become so happy, just to be there. Like I see dads now, there's a mom and a dad here and their son is with them and the girlfriend, and I'm looking ahead to my future and my children, like whoever they're with, you just want to see him happy. And I watch him watching his son. We played soccer with them yesterday, and you can tell he's happy for him. His son is happy. He's got a beautiful girl to spend his time with, and maybe that's on your top 10. One of my top 10s from my bucket list that was in my wallet that got washed and everything in the laundry one time. It's a tattered all list. One of the lists is to sing. I want to sing at Layla and Dylan and Joni's weddings. That's it. I want to sing a song at their weddings. It's a nice goal. So maybe that's on your top 10 list. I went straight in with a big one about first class travel for my mom and dad, but I'll be a long time dead, and I don't want to be having regrets that was it a bit too much to spend on. Feck's sake, they worked their asses off to get us to where we were, myself and my family. So I don't care if it's a lot of money. If I want to do it for them, I'm going to do it for them. And also to see their faces when they get to be with their little grandson in Australia. They don't get to see that much at all, So what is on your top 10? Is it to see tears rolling down someone's face when you've helped them to buy their home, to pay their bills? Is it your community cutting open the gates of a new playground because you started a community group that fundraised for a playground? Whatever is on your list, take time with it. Take time with it. You've definitely gathered a lot of wants over the last nearly a month with us now, 22 days. So I'm sure there's things starting to appear in front of you. And I'm sure, like the ice buckets, I cannot wait. Please join us next week in the masterclass, all of you. I cannot wait to talk about that, because I'm going to be going from animalistic, reactionary thinking to masterful thinking. And I went through them all on an hourly basis when that ice is such a presence. It's like, I have to do this. What time? And they're not telling you what time you're doing it. It's like, I said there was 20 people there. He was like, this is like a microcosm of society right now. I says, I'm going around pretending that, I'm having breakfast and I'm doing yoga with you guys and stretching and breathing, but I'm really anxious. And they were like, yeah, me too. So I said, that's what life is like. People are going around thinking that they're the only ones that have troubles and doubts and worries and fears, and they want to be bothering other people. It was really interesting to see photographers and teachers and engineers and all these different people from different walks of life aware that at some point we are going in the ice today. We're going to be submerging ourselves. We're going to be faced with our bodies wanting to go, get out now, and having to do your mindset against it. Powerful. So let's have a think about your list, okay? Let's think about your list, and do not limit that list. Don't think for a minute that you can't get any of the things on the list. Hey, Declan, I so needed to hear this message today. I will surrender and trust how things will unfold in a difficult situation that I'm currently experiencing. I'm putting gratitude out so strongly, and I know the outcome will be the right one. Yeah. Juliet, I know you're over here on Zoom. I was messaging her the last day, and I just happened to talk about something just pretty straightforward, but still in all, I got a couple of emails last week, and it's like, what? No, that can't be right. It was like, it's just a huge amount of money, and I was like, nah, that can't be right. But it's like as far away as my wallet or the suntan lotion. It's not in me. It's there. It's outside of me. You see, so much of this goes in us. So I can feel your thoughts here, and if I could reach inside and flick on a switch, I'd flick on the switch that I'm feeling, but you probably need to develop it yourself, where the difficult situation is there. I woke up this morning going, Monday. Okay, right. So it's Monday. Places are open again. Now I need to send some emails because that can't be right. I'll figure it out. But it's so detached from my emotional feeling. But before, I would have been emotionally involved with the fear. I would not surrender to the solution at all. I'd be emotionally involved with the fear, not only up until when it's finished, but when it's done, I'd still have residual anxiety or doubt, or my mood would be off, But now it's like, okay, I'm blowing up armbands and blowing up this giant Pluto doll that the kids float around the pool on. I'm getting June a drink from the bar. Putting suntan lotion. Oh, hang on. It's 11 o'clock. I got to go prepare for my call. Okay. And then I remember, yeah, but you've got to take care of that thing now. Oh yeah, I'll take care of that thing. They're just to-dos. They're just to-dos. And I wish you the best with that situation. Let me know who that is, by the way, because again, it just says Facebook user, so I apologize. But it says, I needed to hear this message today. I will surrender and I will trust how things unfold in a difficult situation I'm currently experiencing. I'm putting gratitude out strongly. And I know the outcome will be the right one. And don't give up till the 11th hour, 59th minute. Don't give up. And don't put the gratitude out as well. Put it inside yourself, Think about your own soul and think about your communication with the universe. I'm so grateful for X, Y, and Z. Okay, and I wish you the best with it. Kathleen's going to an ABBA tribute tonight. I tell you, it was brilliant. They were excellent. Everybody knew every song, and everyone was linking arms and thank you for the music. It was good. It was good. It was good. I think back to my Oasis days in the 90s. I wouldn't look at that guy. Am I really going to become that man who's swaying over and back to ABBA? Yes, you did, Declan. 20-year-old Declan or 16-year-old Declan. It was fantastic. Monday, 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 the whole lot. It's Deirdre. Hey, Deirdre. Yeah, I'm giving you Deirdre. You've got a steel rod up your back since the first time we spoke. This is going to work out for you. This is going to work out for you, and I can't wait for you to tell us all about it. Trisha, great to see you back. We'll watch again tonight with Paul. Hey, Paul and Trisha. Yeah, thanks for all your lovely messages. You're a power couple, as they say in the United States. You're a power couple. All right, it is 4:15. I started at 12:30. We're going to bring our day 22 in for a close for the beautiful people tuning in on YouTube and tuning in on the 7 Levels of Awareness Masterclass. Instead, I'll be keeping the call going live for the Academy. And we're going to get some Q&A done now. People are over here on Zoom, so I'll unmute them, and you'll probably be able to hear them then on the Facebook account as well if you're staying with us on Facebook. So I'm going to do that for a little while. Alrighty. So everybody, I'll see you tomorrow. Now, one last thing to say. All week, we're going to be doing days 23, 24, 25, and all that stuff. On Saturday, Megan's going to do day 27. And then on Sunday at 1, I'm doing day 28. Then at 7 o'clock that night, we kick off the masterclass. There's something that I know Elaine and Dusan and Megan and all of the other success advisors are planning on doing is a pretty big meetup with everybody who's just recently joined our masterclass. I think that might be happening on Saturday. We'll confirm more. But you're going to be, you and your success advisor that you've been speaking with, you're all going to get together for a big call this weekend in preparation for the masterclass. The team that I work with don't even know really what's coming. We've had very good masterclasses throughout the year. This is the best lesson I ever learned from Bob. It blew me away. And I remember we left the workbook days 4 and 5 blank until recently. I mean, they're not fully completed yet, but I knew I got my answers I needed in the ice. So cannot wait. I'm telling you, you've got to be on this masterclass. There's 800 people in our group. I go back to a video I saw one time. It was a guy, and he was saying to a bunch of people that were trying to sell houses, and they were doing a very bad job at it. He goes, and they had all these numbers and all that. And he was like, these people are not calling you to go in to see houses because they want to get in out of the rain. They want to buy houses. And I'm saying the same to you. You guys are not after joining a group just for the sake of joining a group. There's 800 people here now. This masterclass is going to be second to none. And it's very, very raw, and it's very, very real, because we're going to be getting down into it. What animalistic type thinking does to you in your marriage, what it does to you in your bank balance, what it does to you in your relationship with your siblings, regardless of how old you are. It's incredible. I see my children now, and they bicker over a Nintendo or a book, or get off my ankle and don't be standing in my shoe. Normal enough, but that's maybe appropriate behavior for children. But when we're grown-ups, maybe one of our siblings is acting like a child. But do we have to lower ourselves to that level of silliness? No. So that's the animalistic type thinking, the mass type thinking about, oh, I better do what everyone else is doing. I can't step away from the pack. I got to be this just like everybody else. Oh, they are, so I am, so I better. And then we'll start talking about aspiration and individualism on days 3 and 4. Actually 2 and 3, individualism and aspirational thinking. That's what gets a lot of you here actually into these groups. Like, I know there's something more. I want more, not more just for gluttony or greed, but more livingness of life. And then we're going to get into the days on how you make it happen. How I know that Deirdre this is the last few times that she'll go through like an emotional roller coaster when it is a difficult situation. I hated confrontational conversations. I hated them. But I know it's like the ice. When you get out of the ice, you're electrified. It's like John Travolta in Grease. It's electrifying. Your skin gets all red and blotchy because the blood is rushing to the surface again, and you're like, yes, So overcoming the ice gets me that feeling. Overcoming a difficult conversation gets me back to where I want to be, my equilibrium, my calmness. So we're going to talk about what it takes in the last couple of days, what it takes to master your life. So it is not something you just sign up for and you don't attend. You got to be on this every day. or I'm going to kick your butts. You got to get on it every day. And I just saw that we're live 44 minutes and 44 seconds. Fours are all over the place at the moment, whoever's into that stuff. Enjoy the break and the vitamin D. Yep, vitamin Declan. All right, let's go. Okay, so goodbye, everybody. See you tomorrow for day 23. Let's have a little look ahead, actually. Quickly. The magic air you breathe. I hear. I'll leave it at that. Enough said. Good luck. If I start talking about breathing after last week, I don't know what I'll be here all day. So everybody who's there in YouTube, we'll say goodbye to you now. Bye-bye. Can I just cancel that? Remove. The post was created on YouTube for this. Delete it. Delete on YouTube. No, I think what I'll do is I don't want to. I think that deletes it totally. So I'll probably just end. Can I end the broadcast and then stay on? Yeah, I'll end the broadcast, and what I'll do is I'll go into Zoom and I'll share it into the Facebook group in the Academy. So end broadcast. Bye-bye. Everybody who's in the Academy Facebook page, I'll be back in a second through a different broadcast. Bye.